I don't know if I'm live yet. I might be live yet. Hang on. I know I'm live. Okay. So I know I probably look like a twit right now, but you'll have that. This is Longboard Literary Society. I'm Zoe Burton. They put me in charge of this shindig. And so I'm trying to figure this out. I'm waiting for Leenie. I sent her a link. There's Leenie. I did it right. Oh my gosh. I see you.
Well, part of me anyway.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to close this window. And then I'm going to come back here. There we go. So now I'll start the official, and I won't, too bad we can't edit this thing, but it's live. So this is Longboard Literary Society Papers broadcast. It's episode number 53, and this is week 2 in our new format on our end. Well, I guess it is kind of new for everybody else too, because they have to watch on YouTube instead of Facebook.
Have we put a thing on Facebook yet?
We have not. I totally forgot about that. Do we need the same link or a different link?
I'll go in and get the link and put it.
Okay. Well, so we're not quite ready.
I have like 55 million tabs open at the moment.
That's not good.
Okay, that's better. Maybe.
We will get this right one day.
Oh, it's only the second time. So
it's only the second time. It's only my first. So but thankfully it didn't take me 10 minutes to figure it out.
Well, that's good.
That was a distinct possibility. So here we are. And it's not even 3 o'clock yet. So hey.
No.
We're doing well.
People won't be expecting us anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the live.
Oh, I wanted to do this too. I'm going to turn this down, but.
Okay, I turned off the sound on the video that's on YouTube. Okay. And now I'll get the little share link.
Okay.
And head over to wherever we are here.
Not like I can actually find it here, my channel. There I am, one watching. Oh, that might be me or you. I can actually find. There we go. I can watch myself on my tablet. No real good convenient place to put it, but oh, that's covering up stuff. See, I can't put it there. All righty. I found all my switches. I got switches, people. It's really cool. So whoever might be watching, I have all kinds of things. All right. You tell me when to start talking again.
There we go. I have that posted at the top. I'll make it. Okay. I'll put it in the announcements.
Okay.
So
well,
it's
we technically we have
page.
3 minutes till 3 anyway.
Right.
So if we sit here, so you know what, people, you get to see the back end for 4 or 5 minutes. The chaos. It truly is Longboard Literary Society at times. Leenie actually has it together the most of any of us. She has her days.
Yep. Okay. And you've given me control so that I can try a screen share too, right?
Wait a minute. You're actually control room. Let me figure out how to do that. No recent apps. Control room. Oh. I don't know. Does that give you wait? It's too big.
Let me
it's
try.
not big enough. Okay, Zoe, this is not rocket science, my dear. Somehow I need to make this side bigger and this side smaller. And it just doesn't work. Zoom. Let's make it zoom out. Aha. Now, how do I give Eileen control? How do I give her control? Oh, no. Share controls. Bingo.
I now have access. I don't really know what to do with that access, but.
Well, you can control your own video and sound.
Okay.
And you should be able to go up to screen share. And share something. It should be click the screen share and then find your tab.
Yeah, if I do this, okay, people, this is going to maybe do something really weird, just so you know.
Okay. Hey! There's me!
There's you. I shared you.
Awesome.
Now, does it change when I change screens, or does it stay the same?
It changed, yes. Briefly.
Nope. But it did show the Facebook?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And now it's back. It showed Facebook, and then it went back to me, and then it showed Facebook.
Okay. Because what we want it to do is show the Facebook, so.
Okay.
Okay. Because, we did not have a motivational meme today.
We did not. You'll have that. I have to remember not to say that. The next page.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So 2 are watching. I don't know. I don't see chat. There's supposed to be chat there. Hello? Anybody home? Oh. See, now I see your YouTube page again.
Oh, yeah, because I was typing something in there. There we go.
Okay. Oh. Drop us a call. Oh, hey. Good idea. I'm on my screen twice. That's really kind of weird.
I know, and I don't know what it's doing over on YouTube, because every time I flip over there, then it's like sharing that instead. So. All right. Well, I suppose we can get officially underway and see what happens.
Okay. Did you stop sharing yet?
No, I haven't stopped sharing, so you're still there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still there, but it's showing your screen. Okay, there we go.
I stopped it. I'm going to have to share, though, for the Facebook thing.
Right. So give me a couple minutes, and then I'll let you add it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Official start. The first 5 or 10 minutes was just bonus material. Okay. Welcome to Longbourn Literary Society's, oh, sorry, my nose itches. Society Papers broadcast, episode number 53. It's been a year and a week. I am author Zoe Burton, and I'm here with my friend Leenie Brown, and we're going to talk about Patreon today. Rose couldn't be here today. She's with us in spirit, I'm sure. She's probably wishing she was with us instead of on a soccer field with the cold air. Right. First, though, before we get into our talk about Patreon, Leenie is going to share what was added to our Pin Self promo post, which she just added up a few minutes ago. And then we'll each share our news, and then we'll talk about Patreon. So go ahead, Leenie. Now you can share away.
All right. I am going to try to share my screen here and change that over.
Oh, I should give this to you. There we go. There we go. I see it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if it's coming up at all on. There it is. Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. There's a delay between what we do and what shows up on YouTube. that's okay. We had a couple of things that were listed. There was Cheryl, who writes as
Lily Bernard.
Lily Bernard, yeah. She's got book 2, New Beginnings book 2, The Harvest Ball, will be live on Amazon on the 30th. So that's next Saturday, so 1 week. For a limited time, New Beginnings book 1 is on sale for 99 cents. So if you want to get caught up in the series, now would be the time to pick up on that at a great price. Author Cheridith Boardman, her book, Second Son, is currently available on Kindle Unlimited. So she has a book there in Kindle Unlimited if you want to check out her work. And there's a link there. And in the comments, I believe there was a link. Yes, Zoe posted a link for the Harvest Ball for
I did.
Lily. So that is there. And let me go back over here. Stop sharing. Okay, that wasn't too hard. I think I got that figured out.
Good work.
Yeah. We can figure out how to click buttons, aren't we? Aren't we smart? Rose didn't leave any news for us, but
she didn't.
Don't think she really got too much done this week.
No.
Writing wise, she did a lot of other stuff, but not writing wise. And she's looking at a move that's coming up. So and soon, like a fast move. So they had to go find a house so that they would have somewhere to live, right?
She's in full moval mode at this point.
Yes, definitely. Okay, I'm still looking at my screen to see what's going on.
Okay.
So then my news, let's see if I can remember it. I didn't actually write it down, although I typed it into the blog post that I'm going to put on my blog on Monday. You know what? I'm just going to pop over there. I did get some writing done this week. I actually was able to get fairly close to the schedule that I want to have for writing this week, but then I did not have any school because it was March break this week. Although our schedule's been a little off for the last couple weeks because my husband's been sick, and then my youngest son decided to prove that you can get chickenpox even after getting vaccinated. So he's been sick. So it's been interesting around here. We did not do a lot of the things that we had thought we might do on March break because people have been sick. But I did get some writing done and some other things accomplished that I had wanted to get done for a while. So that was good. Just scrolling down. I usually write this out and then type it in, but I did it differently this week because I wasn't going to have time to write on Thursday night. So I started writing this Thursday night and finished it Friday. And so it was, when I get off schedule, things just get messed up. They just do. Okay, so I'm still 1 chapter behind on Loving Lydia. I did get a chapter written last night, so I am only 1 chapter behind, which is good. And I am on track with Roger's story, which is his darling friend, and that one posts on Tuesdays on my blog. Loving Lydia posts on Thursdays, so those are the 2 blog stories. So I am 4 chapters ahead on Roger's story, and I think I'm getting close to the end on that one. Cool. It feels like it's heading into the conclusion. I think I've done everything that really needs to be done. There might be a couple of little roadblocks on the way to the conclusion, but otherwise I think we're getting there.
Good deal.
And then I wrote 2 more chapters on my newest work in progress. I managed to get 1 chapter done last week, and then, or did I finish it all last week? Yeah, I think it took me a couple tries to get it done or something like that. And then I finished it off, 2 more of them this week. Okay. No, it wasn't. I finished the first chapter last week, but I had started it the week before. So it took me 2 weeks to get one chapter done, and then I got two chapters done this week. So that one, I have the name of it on my blog post on Monday, but you're going to get to see it when we get into the Patreon stuff, because I have actually started posting that one at Patreon, and I'll tell you more about that story when we get there. My first week with my bundle of books, Darcy and, which has 5 books in it: Through Every Storm, Listen to Your Heart, For Peace of Mind, Oxford Cottage, and With the Colonel's Help. Those 5 books and then the bundle of them are in Kindle Unlimited, and they have been for about a week, and it's been going well. It's really encouraged me that maybe the idea that I have to rotate my books through might actually be a good one, might work to help keep royalties up so that I'll have time to work on other things and maybe, I don't know, balance out my life a little bit so that I'm not constantly working.
Right.
I really have gotten very imbalanced, but it's because you need money to come in. So you've got to work, right? You've got to do the hustle to get the money. Tom's Story has a few reviews on it now. It is still just slowly dripping in some page reads and sales, but as I say in my Monday post, that's actually not discouraging to me because it's coming in steadily and the reviews that are there have been good. So I know that the people who are reading it are enjoying it, or at least the ones that have posted a review so far. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it. If you haven't enjoyed it, you don't have to post that. That's fine.
Right.
I don't need negative reviews.
We don't need to know.
No, you can put whatever review you need, but I do prefer that. I'm normal. I prefer the things that are happy and pleasant.
Yeah.
And I guess it's also encouraging because if I look at the sales numbers for books 1, 2, and 3, and then book 4, and I just look at their first month, how much money they brought in. I just looked at the number of money they brought in because not all of them started their life in Kindle Unlimited, so I couldn't base it on page reads or anything, or units sold, because I've had Tom at a discounted price for a while, so that that would have skewed the number sold. But just in terms of what it's brought in, even with the reduced price, this book, and let's see, it came out on the 5th of March, and so far it has almost hit $100 in sales, which is more than any of the other books did in their first month. I mean,
Wow.
this is not a popular
right.
topic, John. I don't know how you would say it, but it's not written to market. Definitely not written to market. They're really good stories, but they're not going to be the popular kids that get picked first for anything. So it's good to see that there was some growth there. So that was encouraging. And I think that is all my news that I have for this week.
Okay. Well, that was a lot. Awesome. All right. Well, now it's time for my news. I forgot last night when I did my Facebook Live and when I sent out my newsletter that I still have a bundle out. It's been out for about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks now. I think it's been a month. And it's doing okay. And it's doing its job. People are liking it. I got 2 pretty decent reviews. Anyhow, but the big news is that I wrote a lot on the Patreon story this week, considering everything, because I had 3 days this week where things were strange. One day I was just really tired. One day I was sick, recovering from a severe acid reflux attack. But I'm so close to done with my Patreon exclusive story that I can taste it. And I got 730 words this morning from about noon until 1:30. And I even got distracted on Facebook in there. and then videos, giraffe videos. But that story is really, really, really close to done. And I'm going to spend this evening writing instead of finishing my tax stuff. But that's a whole other story. And I'm hoping to get it done tomorrow. Well, no, today. It might be Monday, but I'm hoping today because I have 2 side jobs. One of them, I have, what do they call those? Like, what do they call those in school? Benchmarks. So I have to hit a certain point by this coming Friday so that I can get the first half of my pay. And then in 2 weeks, I have to have the project done so I get the rest of my pay. So this coming week, the side jobs have to take precedence. So I'm really pushing to get the Patreon exclusive story done today before bedtime. Then what I'll do is when it is finished and I have gone through my first edit process, I have somebody I like to beta read, a couple people, but I need this book back in a week, 7 days, 6-7 days. So what I'll do is I will post a request in Burton's Babes. So if you are watching and it is, March 23rd where you are, or 24th, and you see that go up and you are, interested in beta reading, I'm going to choose one person out of ever. I'm not going to just grab the first person. I'm going to give it a couple hours, then grab somebody who can do what I need them to do. Because I'm looking for somebody to, what words do I have repeated 15 times in here? What didn't make sense? Did I forget to tie up any loose ends? That kind of thing. So I'll be writing today. I don't usually write on the weekends. And then I'll be working tomorrow during the race. I have to go to Walmart and get ink and food. But then, I should put lunch or supper on this list so I don't have to worry about cooking during the race. Lunch, supper. And then on April 1st, I have an Austin Authors post. Now it's April 1st, April Fool's Day. And my thought, and I'm right around April 1st every year because that's just how it works out. And my thought was I should do an April Fool's post. But I have this review or this release coming up in a couple of, hopefully just a few days after April 1st. So I don't know. I shouldn't do the April Fool's joke. But then when do I ever do what I should, right? So who knows? Blog posts. There was one blog post this week, and it was one that was already scheduled. This coming week, I'm going to try. If they get up, they're going to be kind of fly by the seat of your pants. And they may not be as pretty as I usually, because I usually take kind of time with them, but I'm going to try. They'll be, if they get done, they will be like last minute things. But I hopefully after this coming week, I'm hopefully going to be in a better routine because I'll still have that second half of that project, but I'll be working on edits, hopefully, for the book that I'm finishing and then getting it out. And then after that, that other project will be done and I'll be back to a regular kind of routine. I don't know that I can do 2 side jobs at once. I really do not know that I can do that. And I'm glad for the cash that's coming in from this third job. But I'm feeling pressure and I don't respond necessarily. I don't respond well to pressure.
Right. So
my next project, I'm not really sure what I'm going to write next. I've gotten some ideas. Sorry, my nose keeps itching. It's that time of the year. Leenie and I are both in a thing called the Common Elements Romance Project. Mm-hmm. And that's a project. That's a story that has five common elements in every story, but none of the stories are related. Like it's all kind of genres. And I don't know what Leanie's writing for hers. Mine's going to be a Darcy and Elizabeth Regency. But then they've extended it now. They've come out October, November, or December.
Right.
So I don't know that mine's going to be ready for October. I kind of hope, but But I have a whole. I mean, one of the suggestions was that I write another Western, and I said last night in my live in Burton's Babes that would be great, but that would have to be a blog story. So I don't really know. I don't know, but and I may do another Patreon exclusive story and just try to write two. We'll just see. But I have a whole plot bunny pound, a whole list of stories that I could write, and you never know. Sometimes I go through them and God kind of strikes me on the head and says, write this one, and that's what happens. But the one I'm writing now is this is like the 4th or 5th time I've tried to write it, and this is the only time I've been successful. So anyway, that's my updates. I don't see any questions on my YouTube over here, so I'm just going to keep on rolling. Our topic today is Patreon. Leenie, do you want me to talk about mine first?
Sure, go ahead.
I can't hear you over Selena. Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. And I forgot something earlier. Like, you didn't have to unstop sharing. I could have hit my button and I would have been on screen first. I'm slow, but I get there eventually. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to talk about what Patreon is. What Patreon is sort of like crowdfunding, sort of. But what it is, it's a way back hundreds of years ago, time of Shakespeare, and even before, in the time of the ancient Greeks and Romans, artists, painters, sculptors, writers had patrons, which were wealthy people who would give them money and support them. Okay. So oftentimes, of course, that meant, at least back then, that meant, painting the patron's portrait in the best light possible, whether it was accurate or not. But anyhow, these people really liked the art that person was making, and so they supported them. Well, Patreon has been around for, I want to say 3 or 4 years now. And they took that concept and brought it into the modern world. So it's a place, Patreon is a place where people who really, really, really like your work, there's artists on there. There's a guy that is a tea shop that I met last fall or the fall before, last year or the year before, I don't remember, down at the Trumbull County Fairgrounds. And he has a Patreon, and for $35 a month, you get tea, a new blend of tea that he's created. So what it is people sign up who really like, and it could be anybody, it could be a podcaster, it could be, and that's, I don't remember how I got on Patreon. If it was, I think it was after you told me about Joanna Penn, but I don't remember. There's all kinds of writers on there. There's podcasters. There's Jeff Gluck, who is a reporter for NASCAR. He's not a reporter for NASCAR. He is a NASCAR reporter. And he left his job at USA Today because his wife got a job in Washington State. And so he left his job, was unemployed. He had his website, jeffgluck.com, and he started Patreon. And the people like me who give him a couple dollars a month, we are his bosses, and we pay for his travel so he can go to these different races and report. And he gives us behind the scenes stuff. And that's what we do. Leenie and I both have a Patreon account, and we have patrons. It doesn't bring in a huge amount of money, under $100 a month for both of us. Yes. But people sign up. If you really like, you can sign up. You can give $1. I know Leenie's is set up different than mine. I have 3 levels, and I'll show you them in a minute. You can give $1, $5, or $10 a month, and you get rewards. So you get, in my case, you get PDF books. If you're a $1 person or a $5 person, you can get them too. You get chances to name characters. You get, if you're a $10 patron, you get, and when you sign up and you email me, you get my whole backlist in ebook form that I will send you links to. And you get there's things like videos, and the $10 people, nobody wants a video. I mean, that's a reward, and nobody even asked for it. But people sign up, and then let me share, and I'll show you what you're going to see if you come to my page. Did I cover what it is accurately? Did I miss anything in there?
I think you got it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see here. Screen. Oh, cancel, because I have two screens. You know what I can do is I can take this and I can move it to this screen. Get over there. Who do you think you are? Wait, I have to make it smaller. And then drag it over because the extra screen is small. Get over there. I have too much stuff on my desk too. That doesn't help. All right, now screen share. Application. Oh, see, there's application window and your entire screen.
Your entire
screen. Why did I not see the application? All right, can you guys see that? No, you can't see that.
Did you click your entire screen?
No, I clicked screen 2.
Oh,
share.
okay. I don't have. Oh, there we go.
There it is. There it is.
And it'll show up here on the broadcast in a minute.
Present to everyone. Bingo.
There we go.
All right. This is what you see when you come to my Patreon page. I have to come over here and scroll, I think. At the top, you're going to see there's my picture, so you know it's me. There's my logo and what I'm creating. I'm creating Sweet Escapes for JAF readers. There's an overview and posts, and there's a big orange bar. It says become a patron. But here tells you the patrons. I have 14, $87 a month. Not every creator is going to show you that information, but I do, at least for now. Here's the tiers. So if you become a patron for $1 a month, I give you a chapter a week or more of my current work in progress. I give you early access to all my blog posts, and my entire backlist is PDF copies, but you have to email me to get them. And then if you join the $5 tier, the title for that was, "Oh, wow, you're awesome." I didn't have any idea what I was doing, so that's what I said. $5 or more a month. Your support means so much to me, and I'll give you everything that the $1 people get, plus a digital copy of every new release. See, some of this, I don't know, some of this is repeated, but an opportunity to help me name original characters, credited for assistance in the acknowledgments of the book, and I do list my patrons at this point by first name in the acknowledgments of my books. It says also, I'll give you a digital copy of the completed story, but I already said that up here. So I obviously have to go through and fix these. $10, you totally rock. And trust me, if you're supporting me for $10 a month, I feel like you totally rock. So you get everything the $1 and $5 people get. Plus you get digital copies of my entire backlist. You have to email me to get them. And you'll have access to a monthly video in which I chat a bit and answer questions you've asked me on my page. But nobody has, so, but I do plan to start doing videos, just doing videos. So I have goals, all right? And there's a video you'll see oh, you can't see it on here, but there's a video, maybe it's down lower. I have goals. Now, both of them say they've been reached, and they've not, because like I said, when I was doing this, I didn't really know what I was doing. One of them is for business expenses, $500 to use for advertising. And they'll be used for ads on Amazon and Facebook to pay for an internet radio interview in my part of Ohio. And then I have another one, $500 to purchase a domain name and web hosting. And that my Patreon earnings do pay for that in its entirety. And then that's about that averages about $50 a month. So the extra 37 goes for advertising. And then there's a list of 259 posts. Holy cow. I didn't realize I had that many. And then you see this, unlock this by becoming a patron. Okay. And a lot of mine are locked. And this is last night's, and it says it's locked. What happens when we click on it? It doggone well better be locked. Because I published it, I forgot to make it private. Okay, so you have to sign up. So, I published it last night, made it public, and forgot to make it private, so I had to go back and remake it. But some of them, if you scroll down far enough, some of my posts, bonus content, which is locked. Lots of, this is a Patreon exclusive story. Now everybody knows the name. Oops. You'll have that. But if you scroll way down, a lot of times, if you go down and you scroll far enough, that one is locked. That one's locked. Some of my writer's journal and other posts. But then you get to read that stuff. All the stuff that says hidden, you get to read. And I don't understand why you can't see my video. There's a video on there too that I created and uploaded. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the screen I'm on, but that's what you can, there's a, what is this up here? Like I can't show you everything. And that kind of bums me out. But there's a community tab, and maybe Leenie will show you. There's a community tab. Okay, maybe there we go. Okay, well, I'm just going to stop sharing because I don't know what the heck I'm doing now. But it's catching up. There's a video on there where I talk about it and explain why I'm on Patreon and what my goals are. What I'm going to do with the money. And then if you scroll through there, if you go, it's the links are in the show notes, and it's patreon.com/Zoe Burton author. And there's a community tab. When you join, there's a community tab, and there's another tab that I don't remember, and there's posts. But you can scroll through there, and I have some posts that I've shared with public a few days after I put them on Patreon. I'm not going to do the stories because of piracy concerns, but that's my Patreon. What else should I say about it?
I don't know.
I don't know. So I tell you, I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you show them yours.
Let me see if I can figure out how to do it again. And I think, okay, let me.
I might do one of these just to play. Maybe I'll make it private, and I'll do one just me, and then I'll play with it.
I don't know if I should use the application window or if I should use my entire screen. I did my entire screen last time, and it worked.
Try the application window. See if you can just pull up whatever browser it is. Oh, there's me. Good thing I wasn't doing something disgusting.
Okay, does that change it?
There you go. There you go. There's Leenie's. Leenie's giving you her view. I didn't do that.
Well, when I signed in, that's just the way it ended up. Okay, so you can see everything I have open too. Look, I have Google Hangouts.
Yes.
And then I've got the YouTube, and I still got the Literary Society on Facebook. So I've got a few things going on here. Okay, so this is my Patreon. And like Zoe was saying, patrons have been around for years, supporting the arts. I know if you follow any of the royal family stuff, they'll say so-and-so is the patron of whatever. And there's all sorts of different things that they are patrons of, meaning that they lend their support to that organization. Mine says, this is my view, so it looks a little bit different. You can see where I can edit my page and make my posts and things like that. So if you are interested in, being a creator of any sort on Patreon, this is what your page would look like. I set mine up to basically be like a subscription service, I guess, so that there would be another way that people could access my work besides just buying it on some store or reading some of it on the forums, because I do post a lot of my stuff on forums. It's not like you can't actually read my work for free somewhere. I do give it away quite frequently. It'd be nice if I could just give it away all the time without having to have money to live on, but the world does not work that way.
Right.
I am creating Austen-inspired and original sweet romances. So some of the things that will be on here will be Austen-inspired, some of them will be original, and some of them will be a combination of the two. I haven't done too many completely original things on here yet. A lot of it's just been Austen-inspired. These are the tabs that Zoe was talking about. There's the overview. That's the one I'm on here. Zoe has a video at the top of hers. I didn't do a video because I just didn't want to. I have 28 patrons, but I only get $43 a month because my tiers are, you'll see, much lower than what Zoe's are. So even people that are taking the top tier, it's only $2. There's a little hello here. Tells you a little bit about what I'm trying to do. I do not have any goals, which sounds kind of funny. I do have goals. It's just I don't have anything specific set up. I have a leak in the basement, which it says here.
I was going to say, didn't you used to have one?
I never put it as a goal. It's in my
Okay.
little welcome thing, but I have a leak in the basement that we still haven't quite figured out how to get it to stop leaking. Like, it was pouring rain last night, so we had to be on hole in the wall duty. We had to watch to make sure. There's an old it's an old clean out for the fireplace that is down there, and water will pour in through there if it's blowing the right direction, or once the ground gets saturated or something. It doesn't happen all the time, but it was happening yesterday. So we've got it. We stick towels in there to catch a lot of the water, so that we don't end up with any flooding in the basement, because otherwise we would end up with flooding every time that it would rain. We would like to get that fixed. We tried last year, we tried changing out the chimney cap, because that's what we were told probably would stop it. No, it hasn't. It's helped somewhat, I think, because you don't probably get the rain flying down the chimneys, but there's still something that's not right. And I think that's going to require moving an oil tank, digging down, and putting something on the outside of the foundation there, because there must be some way that it's coming in through there. Or there might be some leak in the fireplace building of that might be doing it. So we've got a few other things to check out, but it's fairly expensive. So I need to, try to up my sales if I can, so that we can put some money aside for that, so we can pay off, because it's going to cost a few $1,000s to get that sorted out. So that was kind of my goal. We still haven't gotten to a point where I can actually fix that, but we did try one thing last year, and we'll try again this year. And then let's see, over here are my tiers. Can you see my tiers?
Yeah. On the right-hand side.
So you can see. Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay. Okay, so I have 2 tiers. My first tier is my curiosity must be satisfied. That's for $1 or more per month. So it starts at $1. That's all you have to do, is $1 per month in order to get access to these things. For those who just want to read along as I create stories, just $1 will give you access to all my stories as I write them. You will also receive a link to download the Thursday 300 story in your preferred format, either Mobi or EPUB, once it's ready to publish, because Thursday 300s get posted on my blog, so they're already free. You can read those anytime you want to, but if you're going to, support me $1 a month while I'm writing those, you get to have a copy of that story when it is ready. I will probably also be giving a copy of my Sweet Tuesday story, at least this first one, to my $1 patrons per month, $1 per month patrons, when that is ready. And that is a book funnel link, and then you can choose between Mobi or EPUB and send it to either your Kindle or your Nook or your Kobo app or whatever it is that you have that it would work with. And then there is the $2 level, which is My Shelves Must Be Filled. For those who not only wish to read along as I create stories, but also like to add those stories to their digital library, $2 will do it. In addition to access to all my stories as I write them, you will receive a digital copy in your preferred format, Mobi or EPUB, to fill your digital bookshelves, be they in a library or a lovely closet. And that is a reference to Lady Catherine and her closets.
Yep.
So if you have a closet with some shelves in it, you can fill it up with virtual books. And even the curiosity must be satisfied. That's kind of a reference to Jane Austen's writing as well. So that's why I chose those. And those are my only 2 tiers. So for $1 a month, you just get to read along. And when there's a Thursday 300 story that gets published, you get a copy of it. And if you do the $2 a month, then you get to read along. And when that book is ready to publish, you get a copy of it. It's only the books that were being written at the time that you joined that you get to have copies of. So like if you were joining now, you wouldn't get copies of anything that I've published previous to now, but anything that I'm working on right now and posting, you would get a copy of that once it is complete, as long as you are still a patron. Obviously, if you're no longer a patron, the reward goes away as soon as you quit being a patron. That's just kind of the way it works. Here's my posts over here. Click on that. And it'll whirl away and maybe come up with something for you. There we go. Okay, so over on the side, you can see that there are tags. I have 2 featured tags, Thursdays 300 posts. There are 48 of those because there's several different Thursday 300 stories that I've worked on while I've had Patreon. I've only had it since last January. Then there is His Darling Friend, which is another featured post. And those 2 are featured. Those are my public ones. So if you were following me on Patreon and you weren't paying $1 or $2, you could see anything that I post that's public. And these 2 stories actually are posted as public stories. And usually I will, I haven't done it with the one I just started, but usually the first chapter, something that I just started doing, the first chapter of a book that I'm writing, I will leave that as public so that people can get an idea of what the book is about. And then if they want to join and read the rest, they can. Kind of like a preview that you would get on Kindle or somewhere like that. Then I've got all these tags over here so you can see what I've been writing. So anyone who's been a patron with me, there's 15 more, since last January would have had access to, look, I didn't finish the word Mansfield and it ended up putting it there. Nature's Furies and Delights. There's Loving Lydia, obviously that one's posting now, Enticing Miss Darcy, Mr. Darcy's Comfort, One Winter's Eve, Master of Longbourn, Assessing Mr. Darcy, Charles, Tom, and Mary. Those are my Mansfield Park stories. Confounding Caroline and Delighting Mrs. Bennet. So those have all been posted. And I do not see, let's see if I see the new one. And there's the new one, Scandal in Springtime, that I have just started. And you can filter those by tier. So if you want to know what's available to the public, you can click on those and you'll see all the public ones should come up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I would have scrolled.
So this should show up better than just that. But it would start with Lydia chapter 12, and it just kind of does it in order of how they were posted, but backwards order. So if you don't want to do that and you just want to see one of the stories, I'll just click on one. This was Did I click hard enough? Yeah, I did. Sometimes I think I click and then I haven't. So we'll see if that comes up. There it is. So then One Winter's Eve, chapter 14 was the last chapter. You would have to go down and you would have to find the chapter. So it's not as convenient, obviously, as reading it in a book might be, but you could go through, if you were to sign up, you could go back and you could read all of these books. It might just take a little bit of work to do it. Okay, so that was that, and I don't want the filter on there anymore. How do I get rid of the filter? I don't know. Oh, all posts. That would probably do it. Yeah, see, I started in December, around
Cool.
December, not last January, the December right before that. Okay, so Scandal at Springtime. In Springtime is the new story that I told you I would tell you a little bit about in this talk about Patreon. There's Darcy Family Holidays series that I have, which includes 2 Days Before Christmas and One Winter's Eve. This is going to be book 3 in that series, but it ties into the other Penn's Mansfield Park series that I'm also writing. This book is going to star Kitty Bennett. She's gone to London to stay with Aunt and Uncle Gardner because Jane and Elizabeth are married now. So she was not next on the list, but Mary got sick, so Kitty ended up going in Mary's place. So she's in town and she's starting to learn about her aunt and uncle more because she doesn't really know them as well as Jane and Elizabeth did. And she's this starts out, she and Mr. Gardner go to Mr. Durward's store to deliver some muffins from his wife, kind of as congratulations on opening your store because their store is almost opening. And she meets Mr. Durwood and she meets Mr. Waller as well. And she thinks Mr. Waller is really attractive. And that's basically what happens in this story. And we also learn, let me scroll down here. Did we learn it here? Where is it? Oh, she was very distracted. She that's kind of how I'm going to. It's one of her character traits is she kind of gets distracted easily, or she finds something interesting and it captures her imagination and she kind of thinks on it and may not actually be paying attention to things. That's kind of who she is, and she's creative and she likes to think about things, but kind of in a fanciful way, not necessarily deep intellectual thoughts that she would be, she'd be staring out a window looking at the scenery. She wouldn't be considering, how the tree is growing, but maybe who might be living inside the tree. So she's more imaginative in when she's lost in her thoughts. And he said, you're very distracted. And she says, I get lost in my thoughts sometimes. And are these happy thoughts? She nodded. Sometimes they are real life, and sometimes they're about real life, and other times they're about, well, a great number of things that are not real at all. Stories. She looked at her uncle. He seemed the sort of gentleman who would not make fun of a lady for being less intelligent than Elizabeth. But she was not entirely certain he would not tease her for dreaming up stories in her head. However, she nodded anyway. Lying was not proper, and in town she was attempting to be proper. Would you like me to stop at my warehouse and pick up a notebook for you in which you can write these stories? You would do that? He nodded. You do not think it foolish of me to think up stories? He shook his head and held the door open for her. Not at all. I quite enjoy reading. So did Papa, but Kitty could not imagine him not saying writing stories was foolish. Stories did not seem to be scholarly enough to garner her father's approval. They are very fanciful. She waited for her uncle to change his mind about thinking up stories. We will be going to my warehouse, he told the driver before helping her into the carriage. You do want that notebook, do you not? Kitty smiled and nodded. He was not going to change his mind. No wonder Elizabeth and Jane liked visiting Aunt and Uncle Gardner so much. So it gives you a little clue as to how she is. She's I don't know, I guess a little naive a bit. I'm going to stop sharing, so we'll see what happens here. See what it goes back to, if it's me or if it'll show you Zoe. Oh, it's going to show you Zoe.
For a minute,
so maybe
anyway.
I'll click on me. There we go. Now you can see me. Not just hear my voice and watch Zoe. Which is kind of funny. So that is who she is. She's a little bit she's going to be fun. She's got some attitude in her still. I mean, she is Lydia's sister. So, and yeah, I'm not going to tell you who it is that she eventually ends up with, but there's a reason why it's called A Scandal in Springtime, and it's not necessarily going to be her fault. So, well, I haven't quite figured out the whole scandal thing yet. I still have to work on that. So I'm only 3 chapters in. I'm just getting to know these characters. So
right.
Actually, chapter 3 is where I first really introduce the hero. So that'll be a little clue to you that if you read the first chapter, no one in there is the hero. Well, probably no one in there is the hero. As far as I have planned right now, nobody is, but it could change.
Sometimes those characters take over a story, and then
they do. So we'll see.
So those are our Patreon pages, and it occurred to me as I was listening to you, Leenie, that, and I don't know if you feel this way, but it seems to me that those who are my patrons are kind of my super fans. Do you know what I mean? They really love even what I do, and they have the extra funds to give me $1 or $5 a month. I honestly, I have mostly $5 patrons. I have a couple $10 and one. I used to have 2 $1 patrons, but one lady stopped patronizing me, which is, fine. I heard, I think Joanna Penn said that hers goes up and down, and she might lose 100 and gain some. So, and I know Jeff Gluck loses some in the off season and then gains some when the race season starts again. So but it seems to me that there are people who really, really, really like what we do, that do this, and who have the extra funds to give $1 or $2.
Right. I would agree. Yeah.
But then I liked what you said about the forums, because I'm like you, and I give, my stories free on the forums. And I've considered not doing it, but I know what it's like not to have money to buy books, and to need free things to buy. So I just, to me, it's important to give that free reading. So sometimes you can read the whole thing on my blog for a while, but I don't keep them on there. But you can always find them on a forum. Well, mainly at Darcy and Lizzie now, because I don't really do other forums at this point. But
you probably need to click yourself so that it's not just them looking at me and hearing you.
I thought I did that. Because I'm seeing you, and you and I are talking.
I know. I don't know why last week it put us all up on the screen, and this week it hasn't. So I'm not sure.
Maybe Rose had a different setting somehow than I do.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm just lucky that I'm just blessed to be able to do what I've done so far. So yeah, I've screwed up a few times because in my head, I'm talking to you.
Right.
So I apologize, everybody on YouTube land. I didn't mean to do that, but what are you going to do? You're prettier anyway. You don't have 15 chins. So.
Oh, I could if
Anyway,
I held my head right.
That's my feeling. I mean, I enjoy all interaction with fans. I enjoy doing these, even though nobody's making comments but you and me. I enjoy doing the Facebook Lives. I enjoy the interacting with people on Darcy and Lizzie and on my blog and on Patreon. And certainly nobody is obligated to be my patron. You know what I mean? I don't want people to feel obligated, but this is the benefits you get. You get a free story because there's a story out there that nobody else has seen. And I know at least one person is chomping at the bit. She's not a patron, and she's chomping at the bit because she wants to know what I'm writing. So,
yeah. I do give little snippets of what I'm writing on my blogs on Mondays a lot of times. So you will get little pieces of the stories I write on Patreon, but you won't get the whole thing.
Now, do you put your Thursday blog posts on Patreon? Because aren't your Thursday posts a whole story?
Yes, Thursdays and Tuesdays are both full stories, and they're both on Patreon. They get them a day early.
And then you have other stories that only go on Patreon.
Yeah, I might put an excerpt. Well, I have an excerpt from the first chapter on my Monday post this week. So while I'm writing, usually my Monday posts are writing news, a music video, and then I should probably put myself up there, right? Because now they're looking at you.
Wait, sorry. I'm sorry.
I forgot.
I'm not the only one.
And then there's usually some sort of excerpt from either a book that I've written or one that I am writing. If I am writing, I try to put some there because I like to, let people know what's coming and, maybe create a little bit of a excitement for it, hopefully, so that they'll be interested in the book when it comes out. I don't know if it works or not, but that's what I try anyway.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, it's been an hour since we started babbling, and now we've been intelligent for like 55 minutes. So what else can we say about Patreon? I think it's a great place. There was a community tab, and Leenie didn't show it to you, but that's a place that where patrons can leave links to things that it's basically a place where patrons can interact with each other and with the creator.
Right.
So, and one person put something on there. And she's not a patron anymore, but she asked me a question on there. And most people don't. I found though that most of my patrons, a lot of them go and they read, but they don't leave me comments. Some of them, and a lot of them, they get the free book, and some of them don't. They don't accept. They go buy it instead of getting their free book. So that's why I say they're like super fans, because they'll. And somebody once said to me, "That's not fair to you to give away your book," and I'm like, "But you've paid."
Yeah.
You've paid $5 a month for the last 2 months for that book.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think that covers the topic quite well. So, next week we will try this YouTube thing again. We don't know how we're going to exactly work out putting the link in on Facebook and getting us all on here all at one time and everything. That's why we're trying out a few things this week. I am planning to eventually put these on my blog too, so that obviously they won't get posted probably till Sunday, to share them with some people so that they know that we're doing them and that sort of thing.
Good idea.
But you can, and we're working on getting, just a few little show notes, if you want to call them that, to put down below. and I should make you look at me because I'm pointing for you and you're not seeing me pointing. So they're down below, and you can see like the links to our Patreon are there, and then there's links to
hey,
our.
Rose is here.
Yeah, I saw she said hi.
Okay, sorry.
Or she was here. Whether she still is or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
And then links to our websites are down there as well. So if there are things that we're talking about each week, if we have books that we've read excerpts from or whatever, we'll make sure we get the links down there so that you have them. We are not putting links to the things that we mentioned on the self-promo post because that is already in the self-promo post, and you can go there and you can get the links there.
Yeah.
There is a link in the show notes where you can join our group on Facebook. If you click that and we see that you really look like you're a real person, we'll probably let you join our group. There have been some that were like, I don't know, and we haven't accepted, but there's a lot of that, kind of scammy stuff that goes on. So
yeah,
we do have to look a little bit carefully at who is joining. All right. I don't know if there's much else. We don't have an official Longbourn Literary Society channel, but if you would like to subscribe to Zoe, you can do that by hitting the subscribe button. And there's, a little bell notification there if you want to get notified of anything new that she posts, like these lives. You can also go over in the I was noticing over in the comments, I have left a comment there, Leenie Brown, and there's like 3 little dots there. If you click on the 3 little dots, I believe it will let you have the option of going to my channel, and you could subscribe to my channel. The same is true for Rose because she has a comment there as well. You could go to her channel and you could subscribe there. That way, no matter which one of us is in charge of the video for that week, you should get a notification if you've clicked that little bell symbol to be notified of whatever you call that, videos. That's what it is. Oh, my brain is stopping. So
we do hope in the future to have our own Longbourn Literary Society channel. We just haven't got around to it yet.
No, it is just going to take us a while to get everything figured out. And if we're going to continue using Hangouts, and Hangouts is supposed to be changing in the new year, or even before for some customers. So there's a little bit of uncertainty as we're trying to, go through things and figure things out. So hopefully you'll bear with us, and we'll see how this progresses and evolves, and you can have a good chuckle at us and know that no matter what you do, you can do a video too. You won't make any more mistakes probably than we are. So, there we go. All right. Well, I'm going to say have a good week, and I'll let pop myself down, and Zoe can say goodbye to you too, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming and watching with us and putting up with our shenanigans. And it was great having you, and come back next week and we'll see you then. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.